So I have a few questions for you, Dr. Blatz. Number one, why did you decide to go into medicine?
Yeah. It kind of all started with my father, who is an orthopedic surgeon. I had the pleasure of actually working in private practice with him, and we shared a practice in San Jose, California for about 7 years together, which was amazing.
Yeah.
It was always sort of what we wanted to do, but I'd always had in my mind that I was going to be another orthopedic surgeon, and he was going to teach me all of his ways, and then I was going to, take over the torch. And as life goes, there's different curveballs that are thrown your way, and I had worked to try and get into orthopedic surgery once I graduated medical school, and it's very competitive. And I actually ended up doing a year of general surgery with the idea of parlaying that into orthopedic surgery, and it was a rough year, and it was just not what I had expected, right? And the surgical aspect I enjoyed about it, but that's maybe 5% of your time. The other 95% is taking call, dealing with a lot of complications, a lot of stress, a lot of sleepless nights. And I was thinking to myself, even if I did orthopedic surgery, I would still want to do sports medicine. And so I started researching ways of getting into that. And this is long before I even knew about regenerative medicine or orthobiologics in general. But I said sports medicine is sort of what I enjoy. And that also stemmed from me growing up and playing a lot of sports, having my own injuries, right, and being fascinated by that, right? Yeah. And so I was just very familiar with the surgical fix, quote unquote, of the things that I had wrong from my sports days. Yeah. But as I was going through my family medicine, I met a man named Jonathan Finoff, who's from the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota. And he was actually practicing in South Lake Tahoe at the time when I was at my Reno family medicine practice. I spent 6 weeks with him, and that was my eye-opening experience. He was is an expert in ultrasound diagnostics for sports ultrasound. He was the first person I saw do a stem cell procedure. I saw him do injections in deep areas in the body that I didn't even think was possible using ultrasound. And so I said, wow, this guy's onto something, right? Yeah. So I gleaned as much as I could from him, and that kind of started my path towards where I'm at now. I couldn't be happier. I get to work with my hands. I get to work with athletes. I get to work with the athletes that are still athletes, even into their 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th generations, decades, and still keeping them going, right? And I can do all of that using their own tissue and not having to use a scalpel. And so for me, that just ended up working best and fitting me best.
Yeah, sounds wonderful. And how lucky. Yeah. Isn't it amazing that, it's just you happen to come across this guy.
Yeah.
And he helped change your life, really.
Yeah, he did.
Your life path, especially because you were so set with your dad.
And there was some disappointment about that. Some way that I'm thinking like, oh, I'm not achieving like what I wanted to do. And like you said, it's just those people come into your path in your life and you meet them and it's like a light bulb. And you go, wow, this absolutely fits. I'm excited about it.
And good for you that you were open enough to go, Dad, we have a hard conversation. I'm leaving.
Yes, exactly right. Exactly.